The World Cup 2018 in Russia is definitely one of the craziest without disputing, as the whole world stopped what they were doing and watched, including Vladimir Putin. Russia ranked 17 in the world kicked things off with a thrashing over Saudi Arabia, and Yusar and Cheryshev was born, along with Fernandez, Golovin and Dzyuba. There were many new debutants, but the most controversial was the new VAR. Some good and some terrible decisions, safe to say it's not quite up to par. But it was a World Cup to remember for the smaller nations and one to forget for the 5-star assigned. As the reigning champs Germany were knocked out in the group stages, they want to leave this one behind, Auf Wiedersehen. The emotion the South Koreans showed when beating Germany is what football is all about, even though they knew they were out, and proved Neuer isn't a midfielder and should stick to the sticks without a doubt. Morocco were unlucky to be put out in the first round, as were Iran, who just left it too little too late, but showed their nation fighting pride, making them proud, only 4 more years to wait. Portugal vs Spain will be a match for the history books as Ronaldo stole the show, Diego Costa scored a brace and a wonder goal by Nacho. Spain went on to get knocked out by the hosts in a penalty shootout fiasco. But it was difficult for Spain as their manager patched them for Los Blancos and had to bring in, a day before the World Cup started, Fernando Hierro, while Portugal were sent home by the partnership of the boys from the small village of Salto. However, only half of that partnership was fit for the next stage and Suarez couldn't do it on his own. Muslera let it slip and Uruguay's golden generation may not get another go. Egypt and Mohamed Salah lacked in qualities, they didn't put up much of a fight, and we saw a lot of Diego Maradona, who seemed to be as high as a kite. He was possibly Argentina's highlight of the tournament as their performances were seen as a joke, except for their late win against Nigeria, which could have seen him sniff a lot of, Will Messi or CR7 never win a World Cup? They may only have one more to play in, and if they don't win that, they may have to give the dream up. The Central African nations were unlucky as Nigeria went out with a margin ever so thin, and the Senegalese are the first ever team to be put out by their record of discipline. Japan took a risk and agreed with Poland to let them go through. We thought we'd seen the end of this with Austria and West Germany back in 1982, but their tactics paid off in the progress, no doubt they would have been pleased. But they bottled it against Belgium, but it was nice to see them cleaning the stadium, along with the Senegalese. That's the beautiful side of the game, but the ugly was with Brazil, when Neymar got tackled and dived around and rolled, as if he was rolling down a hill. Apart from that, the Brazilians played well at times, but it wasn't enough. They were put out by an own goal and some Belgian masterclass. From 2 down it was always going to be tough. The hosts restored their national pride as they had to be put out in pens. Unfortunately they couldn't go further despite a wonder goal by Cheryshev. The Swedes can head home with their heads held high as they were expected to go out, never mind finish top of their group. A last minute blow from the Germans didn't stop them as they thrashed Mexico 3-0 then beat Switzerland 2. The Swiss played well to go through and may have exceeded expectations, but Shaqiri and Xhaka almost got the ban for the Albanian celebrations. After beating the Germans, Mexico ended up in tears, but they still couldn't get by the round they've been stuck at for the past 16 years. There was no underdog fairy tales from Costa Rica and Iceland as both teams failed to get a W. They'll be going home disappointed unlike last tournaments when they exceeded round 2. Kasper Schmeichel couldn't have done any more against Croatia, saving 3 out of 6 pens for Denmark. They got booed off the pitch against the French as a boring affair was played with no heart. But they got out of the group stage ahead of the Peruvians, who along with the Colombians had the best support. Around 30,000 for each game to watch the nations. They're part of the reason why football is the best sport. Peru lacked the end quality to put the ball into the back of the net, and Colombia missed James Rodriguez, although they had Mina, who scored 3 goals with his head. Australia at least got a point in this World Cup, but that's all they can really say. Lecky looked dangerous, but apart from that, it wasn't the Aussies' best display. Serbia's tournament was summed up by a Mitrovic sandwich, which shows VAR has a long way to go. And the Iranian defender Mohammadi brought us some laughs with his failed somersault throw. Panama were playing in their first ever World Cup and were given a difficult group. Despite being 5-0 down to England, their first World Cup goal was one to go down in the history books. Tunisia almost caused an upset to England, but a late goal led to the English to look on in hope. They got the lucky side of the draw, but playing against the bigger teams they couldn't cope. Sterling was terrible, but the boys at the back played well like Maguire, Trippier and Stones. Harry Kane got the golden boot, but 3 pens, 2 tap-ins and a fluke. He won't care about England not winning, he got his goals. But a young team with lots of potential, the semi-final is an amazing achievement, but for now, football's not coming home. It was Belgium who finished top of the group as they went on to knock out one of the world's greatest. The French stopped them in their path and they had to settle for 3rd, which is their best ever World Cup status. Hazard was different class and he would sometimes on his own control the game. Michy Batshuayi could have been the leading goal scorer but only got the 1 goal to his name. After Belgium scored, he blotted the ball off the post onto his face. Even he laughed at his pain. In the end, it was the French to claim the World Cup as their own. They were determined not to have a repeat of 2016 at their home. They beat Croatia, who made their World Cup final debut, a country of only 4 million who had shown a lot of fighting togetherness too. They dominated the group stage and went behind in every knockout match to get there. Classed as the underdogs, they lost in the final in an exciting affair. France were just too much for them and VAR played its part. as well as the defence of Varane, Pavard and Umtiti, which isn't an easy defence to tear apart. But the star of the show was Kylian Mbappe, only 19 years old. 4 goals to his name, possibly the next Pele. He's worth his weight in gold. All his flicks and tricks were brilliant to watch, and playing with the likes of Pogba, Griezmann and Giroud, until Qatar in 4 years' time, we'll be hearing the French with a victorious chant of Allez le Bleu.